Hi, do you love Markdown, but when you have to create tables, you start sweating? Welcome to the club. That's something that actually has been my issue for a while now. And yesterday I found a solution and I decided to share this with everybody. So let me start actually with how you create a table in Markdown. You can see here on screen I have put a syntax of how you actually create it. It's a mixture of pipes, spaces and dashes, right? So if I want to create a 2x2 table in Markdown, this is how I do it. I start with a pipe, apologies, right there, column 1 title, and then in the second row I have to create at least 3 dashes to create the column. And because this is a 2x2, I'm gonna add another 3 dashes for the second column. So you can see this is now column 1 and column 2. Down here, you can start adding the content. And there you have it. So now you have a 2x2 tables in Markdown. What's the problem with this? The problem with this is that as you are making notes and or writing texts, you are in your flow. And to do all of this typing, it actually will take you out of the flow. You have to start to think, okay, what is actually the correct syntax to create the table? And I don't know you, but I often forget it because I don't create tables every single day. Right? So that's issue number 1. It takes you out of the flow. And it is scientifically proven that if you get out of the flow, you need between 20 and 30 minutes to go back in flow. And that's an issue because it's obviously inefficient. Yeah, it's frustrating. And we want to love the work we do. We want to enjoy the work we do. This is how I create tables now. There you go. That's my 2x2 table. And let's say I want it with test data. Let me go up here. 2x2 data. So how do I achieve this? How can you do the same? You need 2 things. One is a Mac. The software I'm using is actually on the Mac only, and it's called Alfred. I will put a link in the description to Alfred. Specifically, you have to use Alfred in its Powerpack version. It's really inexpensive for the amount of goodness that Alfred brings to a Mac. This is not an advertisement for Alfred. I'm not getting a dime for that. It's just the truth. It's one of the best pieces of software that you can ever buy on a Mac. Alfred in its Powerpack version allows you to install so-called workflows and then trigger them through the Alfred bar. This is the Alfred bar, which it looks like the Spotlight search, but it's Alfred, which is a total different universe. So let's jump right into it and let me show you where you can find the workflow, how you can install it, and what things you have to make sure you update in your system preference so that the workflow works fine for you. Okay, so here we are in GitHub. The link is also below. Download this Alfred Markdown table workflow either from here or do the manual installation here. And this is the one I actually prefer. No particular reasons. Just don't need to go onto another website, I guess. Once you click on the workflow, presuming you have Alfred already installed, this is the window that will pop up. It's a little bit of a description of what the workflow does, which is extremely straightforward. And here you can select a category. This is internal Alfred categorization, nothing special. I think if you have many workflows, then it makes sense to start, breaking down your stuff into categories. For now, I don't have that many, so I will import just uncategorized. Obviously, you can change that also in the future. So now the workflow is installed, and as you can see, it's a 2 simple steps workflow. Now you would expect that you go into your Markdown editor, you start typing table, and this thing works. Well, there is a caveat. Look carefully. I start typing table. I say I want 3. Don't be too fast. Do it slow, just like I did it. Why? Because you're gonna get this message. It cannot be opened because the developer cannot be verified. That's a normal security feature of macOS, and it's nothing to be scared about. It just means the developer is unknown to Apple, and if you want to use this script, you have to use it at your own risk. Obviously, this script is downloaded via GitHub, and in GitHub, the codes are visible to everybody to check. So most of the stuff that is in GitHub, you can be sure it's not malicious, or somebody would have flagged it really. Especially when it's something this simple, it's very easy to find anything that is malicious. What I have to do now is going into system preferences. I will do that using Alfred, and security. And these you have to do it, by the way, right after you have received and hit cancel in that message. Right after. Don't do stuff in between. Why? Because as you can see here, it shows you the very last blocked app, or in this case script actually, and it allows you to enable it. This is what I'm gonna do. Let's try again. One last time to say yes, you can open it. Open. There you go. So that's it. From now on, you can consider yourself a Markdown table ninja. Just like me, you get excited when you see productivity tips like this. I am just at the beginning. I have already posted a couple of self-improvement videos. The channel is going to be focused mostly on self-improvement and productivity. So if you like this type of content, check out my videos up there, and I'll see you when I see you.